Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's training. I'm actually doing this one from Florida, so I'm very excited. I'm sitting outside. It's beautiful. I'm not in snowy Colorado with a couple feet of snow. I feel really sad for my family, but very happy for me, very appreciative of the beautiful Florida weather. So I am pre-recording this one again because last week, planes were late and delayed, and I have no idea what's going to happen on my way back, so I'm not taking that risk. But hopefully I can again join you live. It was kind of cool watching myself do a live video. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and get started. This week we're talking about the Cherokee story of two wolves and what the lessons are, what that story is trying to teach us. So the first thing I want to do is read the story to you. So, um, okay. A wise Cherokee elder was teaching his grandson a life lesson. He said to the boy, "There is a war going on inside of me. It's a terrible fight, and it's between two wolves. One is evil: anger, envy, jealousy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. The good wolf is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith." The elder put his hand on his grandson's shoulder. "This war rages within you and in the heart of every man, woman, and child." The grandson thought for a moment, and he said, "Grandfather, which wolf will win?" The Cherokee grandfather simply replied, "The one you feed." So, I do love this story, and it's something I've known for, oh my gosh, so many years, and it is something that I use. So, how is it that I use it when we're talking about the mind? Um, so the first thing I do want to mention is, and I think a lot of you know this, I very rarely talk about good and evil. I like to talk about dark thoughts and feelings and light thoughts and feelings. So we're going to talk in that realm here. And oh my gosh, do you hear that bird? It's the mockingbird. And it's amazing. I love listening to all the different uh, chirps that it's doing. It's learned it from all the different birds out here. So it's actually absolutely beautiful. Anyhow, okay, back to the story. So the Native Americans, they do see the wolf as being the greatest teacher. And so they also believe that if you want to understand the true meaning of life, the mystery of life, then you need to learn from these two teachers. You need to connect with them, and so in order for you to really truly find your true self is through connecting with the two, um, the, um, both the dark side and the light side. You can't have you can't kill off the dark side, so don't even try. And in order to truly understand the light side, the feelings of joy and peace, you need to understand anger, and you need to understand envy and jealousy and where that's coming from in order to truly understand compassion and peace. So anyways, they're both inside of you, and they're both teaching you something. So one of the things I want to talk about before we continue is something that Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about. And I did mention it in another training of mine, but he talks about the thought being the electrical charge that goes out into the quantum field of possibilities. So that's the electrical charge. The magnetic charge are the emotions that are drawing back the experiences. So the feelings go out, and they're going to draw back that they're the magnetic. So we're talking electric, magnetic, electromagnetic, right? And so I want you guys to think about that, because I know the story talks about feelings, but really the thoughts are that electric charge is going out into the field of possibilities. The feelings are bringing the experiences back to you. So Now back to the dark wolf. Let's talk about this dark wolf for a little bit here. It is easiest to feed the dark wolf, and anger, and feeling angry about a situation, feeling angry about what somebody did, is very angry. It's easy to give up on things. It's easy to blame others for situations, to blame things that are happening, and not take responsibility for not just your actions, but taking responsibility for what's being created in your life. So the dark side is easier to feed than the light wolf. The light wolf requires discipline and motivation and courage. It requires you to take responsibility for your actions and take responsibility for the future that you are currently creating. And this does take a lot of courage. So we've talked about this in another training that I did, but your dark thoughts are very addictive, and they are going unnoticed. And because they're going unnoticed, they are misleading you. And one of the misleading things that they're doing is that it makes it look like the situation happens first, which, as we just talked about, is not the case. So uh, the other thing that you need to be aware of is when you react to a dark thought, the behavior that's going to happen is, this is where I will talk about good and evil, because behaviors can be good and evil. It's the thoughts and the feelings that are not. They are just what they are. Like I said, we have to feel the dark feelings in order to understand and truly feel the light ones. But when you're reacting to the dark side, your behaviors now can become evil, and these dark thoughts, when you react to those behaviors, they're disconnecting you from the present moment. And we've talked about this. You can only create a new future from the present. These dark thoughts are bringing you to the past, and they are, and what ends up happening is you end up recreating your past over and over and over again. So don't let those dark thoughts disconnect you. You need to keep in the present, and we're going to talk about how we do this. So, uh, one of the things that I do, just kind of on a day-to-day basis, is if a dark thought comes my way, is I'll honor it and I'll let it go. I try not to react to it. I'm human. We all react, right? But I really, really try my best to just honor it and let it go. If it doesn't want to leave, then I try and laugh it off. Laughter is healing. So if you laugh it off and say, thank you, and nope, just not doing that today. That a lot of times that'll help move the thought along as well. So if that doesn't work, then this is where I do bring the wolves in, and I ask the light wolf to help me to feel true gratitude and true, passion in my heart for the dark wolf, and and I'll start using the heart math techniques at that moment to start bringing that in. And once I can start bringing that in, all of a sudden the dark wolf will go away a lot of times. Now, if it doesn't, that means that there's a lesson I need to learn. So now I'm going to take this into a meditation, and let's talk about the goals of meditation, or at least in this instance, what the goals will be. Goals change. So the goals of the meditation is, number one, for you to really observe what is going on, for you to become the observer. Remember, we've talked about that. Are you the robot or are you the observer? So to truly become the observer, that is a goal. The other goal is learning to tame those dark thoughts, learning to harness the energy so that you can get the courage from those dark thoughts, get the courage, and feed the light wolf with that. So that's another goal that you're going to have, as well as the goal to truly understand what is binding your spirit to the past, what is not allowing you to live in the present to create a good new future. So those are the goals of meditation. And um, what I do in private meditation, now I have talked about that I can do guided meditations and I can do hypnotherapy. So if you're not wanting to do private meditations with just yourself, that's okay, because I do have the ability to help you out with the guided meditations and hypnotherapy. But if you are someone that wants to do the your own meditations, if you're used to meditating on your own, What I do when these dark thoughts are bothering me is I sit with the wolves, and I ask the dark wolf, what is the lesson I'm supposed to be learning? And I sit with it until that lesson comes up. And a lot of times it's going to come up in a memory, but what your brain is doing and what's going on is it's pulling from different pieces of what's happened, and to create a memory, to create a learning that the dark wolf is trying to teach you. So it's not necessarily the exact thing that happened to you in the past. And so I don't want people to think, oh my goodness, did that really happen to me in the past? Not necessarily. When you're in this meditation, it's pulling together something for you so that you can learn. And so what I do when I have this memory that's come up is I take it and I wrap God's light around it. I wrap our source, whatever you want to call it, light around it, and I could send it off into space. I could bury it in the ground. Sometimes, if that's not working for me, I could take it and put it in a TV, or put it in a picture frame, and let this memory play out and thank it. Bring the light wolf in and thank it for whatever it's teaching you. Um, and then you can put it in black and white, because black and white means past, right? So and move that picture frame away from you to keep it in the past. So these are the techniques that I use when I'm trying to get a thought to stop continually coming up. What is the teaching? What is it trying to teach you? And bringing the light wolf in to help it get you give you the courage and give you the compassion that you need to wrap it in the proper energy and move it away. All right, so that's what I do, and I have different hypnotherapy techniques that'll help with this as well. So and what we could do is, what I like to do is actually tape the hypnotherapy or the guided meditation, so that you can bring that with you. You can have it with you, so that you could play it at different times. Oh my gosh, this is continually happening. Let me close my eyes, play the guided meditation, and then it can help you move back into the compassion. So. It's completely up to you on whether you want to learn to, or you want to continue to feed the dark wolf, or if you want to really take the bull by the horns, if you would, and learn what to do with the how to get the light wolf and how to feed the light wolf and how to help it, how to help you, how to know how to help, how to feed the light wolf and have the light wolf help you move into more lighter space. So. I'm here to help, and you just go ahead and click on the link, and you could get your free call, and we could talk about how hypnotherapy and guided meditations can help you. I'd love to talk to you. I hope you all have an amazing week, and I know I'm going to in Florida, so I'm very excited about that, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you.